Friday, July 19th. I almost spaced on the date. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I'm just going to get the live stream up and running on the other computer, tweet it out, and we are going to talk about this price action. I have been waiting for this, was ready for it to happen. Oh yeah, you guys have seen on my Twitter that I have been posting out about the limit down levels for the indexes. Are we going to get there today? Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. Remember, every day that we do drop, that 7% for the cutoff gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So I have been waiting for this. Was I positioned? You bet. All right, so let me share it really quickly on Twitter, and we will pull up all these stocks. We'll look at cryptos. We will look at Bitcoin. I am a little hungry. I have to eat as well soon. Otherwise, you guys know what's going to happen. What will happen if I don't eat? Oh yeah, I get hangry. And it's not a good place to be when I'm hangry. All right, let's get the chat up. And let's get the charts up. Look at this fade on the index. Hello, Terry. Welcome, welcome. Were you prepared, Terry? Were you prepared for this move, right? SPY, QQQ. Hello, good morning, Shar, or good afternoon. It's afternoon for me, but 12:40 here. And I am in Canada supporting the Canadians right now. All right, so we've got the 45-minute chart over here. Definitely a big fade happening on the 24-hour chart over here. I did adjust my trend lines a bit to be off the bottoms of the candlesticks. Right here, a shorter term trend line. This is a longer term one. We do have volume weighted anchor price from the high back here on 10th of May. So looking at roughly 421.66. iTub for a put, please. Yeah, we'll check it out. I will check out iTub for you. So looking to see, are we going to fail down here? Are we going to take out the low of the day? What do you guys think? Also, if you guys like the live stream, please hit that like. It helps the YouTube algorithm to share it, or you could even share the link from Twitter. It's Airplane Jane on Twitter. I do have some scammers out there on Instagram. Just remember that I am Miss Airplane Jane on Instagram. Are we going to get there? Are we going to hit and go below 422.67? Let's see. I feel like it's like a horse race, right? Are we going to win? Come on, let's go. Let's take it out. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's do it. Let's break to new lows. You guys can tell that obviously I am in a bearish mood right now. Let's look at the Qs. The Qs are also melting. Right here, we've got 70. Oh, we're testing it. We hit that 70 point. Looking to see, are we going to break below 351.45? Let's set an alert on that trend line, crossing down. And again, let's see, do I have it right here? Here is my list for today. If you guys want to try it out, come on over to cjandtrade.com, use welcome as the login, and save 10%. So these are the levels to watch today: 401.15, 332.57, and 199.90 as potential limit down prices that we could see hit. We are seeing that sort of rejection level. Hey, is this support of 352.75 going to hold over here for the Qs? How about the Russell? Are we seeing the same? Russell was a bit stronger, came up to 214.50, rejected it. We are testing the volume weighted anchor price back here. This is all the way back from the low back in October of 2020 that we are testing right now. So we failed this one. Let's move it on over to this one, see how much lower that is. That's going to be our next target down there, 205.08. And also, let's turn on the simple moving averages. Yeah, so we also have our 200 simple moving average at 206.81. This is my measured move from the height of a box that was up here at 221. That was a measured move target, also hitting a trend line over here. So looks like we're failing a bit over here. Looking for that continued move. Let's see if we're going to close below 209.50 today, right? If we go below that, let's see. Oh, we did break to new lows now on the S&P 500. We are below that 50 simple moving average on that daily. I spelled it out all month long. Yeah, I was getting everybody prepared, right? I was getting you guys prepared. I saw it in the banks. Let's look at those banks. Let's look at the VIX, VXX as well, and VIX. Wow, look at that. All right, so we are up above. We have not hit the high here. Let's see, what's the high of this candle? It's going to be 35.16. All right, let's set a little alert, add alert, 35.16. Are we gonna get there? It looks like we're about to just hit it pretty quickly. XLF, the banks, mentioned it before that we were seeing a lot of weakness. We are below the low back here. I've got my fibs on. Maybe we are going to head back down lower. We're hitting a fib level at the moment. We are hitting the volume weighted anchored price from back in, that's January 28th of 2021 right there, that we are hitting. Well, we're starting to see more weakness. So, hello, Oscar. Are we going to break down below 34.50 over here? I think so. I think we could be heading down further. It could be a pretty ugly afternoon. That's why I have those levels set up. Also, IAT, we had regional bank volume, dark pools up there. That's not buying to me. That's selling. Banks are not looking good. In fact, you know that the banks with the fractional banking system lend out the money 33 times. If 1/33 of the U.S. went in and asked for their money back, the rest, the other 33rds, there's no money left for them. Did you think about that? Where's your money? It's not in the banks. They've put it in the stock market to make money with it. They've lent it out to people as mortgages. They've lent it out to people as home equity lines of credit, right? So are you aware that they have done that with your money? If you want to go and get your money, you know what you have to do? You have to order it. If it's more than 10,000, usually, because they don't carry enough on hand. Yeah, they do love their numbers, Oscar. They do. All right, so looking at that, seeing a lot of the inverse ETFs really moving to the upside today. Tech stocks are being hit as well. We've got oil that's dropping as well. Gush is oil and gold. Did you know that Gush is oil and gold together? It's not just oil, it's the two together. So let's look at the big majors. I have Apple as a short. Microsoft is definitely being hit today to the downside. Let's see if it's going to continue down further. Could see that we have a bigger move. Let's see if we test that 20 simple moving average today, 273.90. If we go below that, I think we could see a quick move down to 260, 19 points to the downside. We have a bit of trading up here. Let's put it on a weekly. Oops. Oh, we can do it over here. We are hitting the 4 simple moving average, and then we have a little bit of a gap down to 270. I really wanted the weekly over there, but that's okay. Also, let's look at Google. Google, hey, it's also getting hit. I just saw an interesting documentary about Google and 3-letter identifier, this one, and how they've worked together and they became part of it, which is really interesting. I learned a lot about that. So that was very, very interesting to see how they're working together with them. And let's go to Amazon. Amazon, well, we had a nice big move to the upside, definitely faded there. Looking at my fibs, continuing down to the downside. Potentially, are we going to break and have a close below 3,500? That would likely lead back down to 34.41. Let's look at it on the weekly here. We have a gap right here to the downside. Buy the bottom with dime story trades, 5 and 10 shares. Play the increase under 60 cents and make $1 to $10 green in short time frames. Okay, interesting. Volatile trading. So this looks like it might have a gap to fill right here. We're testing the high of this candle. If we go below, it looks like we might come down to 34.85. So potentially another $35 to the downside on Amazon. Really not that much in the grand scheme of things, but if you are trading, the options could be very lucrative. All right, Facebook as well on our weekly chart. Remember, this is weekly now. It looks like we do have a gap to fill down here, 331, right? $4 to the downside. Let's look at it on the daily chart. On the daily chart, yeah, we still have, yeah, we could go down there very easily, 333. Well, that would also be our 50 simple moving average on the Facebook chart right there. And we have an H. Whoa, are we going to break down below 335? That's not going to be pretty, right? We're starting to see such weakness. Is there a lot of buying volume? Well, the volume was higher up here, dropping. Maybe we're going to see some buying pressure come into it. Maybe some people believe in Facebook. I personally shut down my page this weekend. Personal and professional, my Facebook is done, right? I just had to download the data. I want my photos. That's it. I want my photos there. Twitter is heading to the downside as well. We do have earnings coming up. Not sure if they're going to say, hey, you know what? We had people that did this subscription service and we started to have good earnings, but it also looks like we have a bit of a gap down here, 63.94, 64, also down to 62 area, and then 61.10 for Twitter right there. Work was on my list as a potential long today. It did have some price movement to the upside, a little move, 20 cents, nothing really major. TLK was another one on the potential long list. There were a lot that were hard to measure out from that potential long. Oh, it looks like we had big prints. Interesting, maybe on TLK. And judging by this, it was sell prints. That's money moving out of the market right there with it dropping to the downside. So interesting there. Fiverr or 5.9 gapped higher today, and then it faded the gap back down to the moving averages. So a nice move back down, 7 points to the downside there. A lot of downside trades today with the market also moving down. This one had a little pop to the upside of $1.50 and then a little move to the downside as well. YC is a power company in China. Had big volume this morning, but not a lot of movement today. Apple, definitely moving to the downside. A nice trade right there on Apple. If you went below 143.20, you had a nice trade down, $1.60 to the downside. SPCE was on my short list today. However, it did have a bit of a bounce to it and could continue to fade here. It did hit some moving averages. It does look like it's starting to top off, a bit of consolidation or distribution right here. And if we break below 31.20, I would look for that gap to fill back down to that 29 area. CCL today had a bit of a bounce as well. We were really far extended away, so a little bit of a move to the upside, but had a downward trade right in the early morning. AMC, I know there's a whole bunch of apes out there that are interested in AMC, so I wanted to show this to you. Form for AMC. Oops, I misspelled it, but it corrected it for me. So I went and I got curious, right? Because when I looked at it over here, right, you can look here to see how many shares there are. This jumped from 499 up to 500. I thought, that means that somebody on the inside of the restrictive shares have now sold some to put it into the public float. So I thought, well, let me go and check the Form 4s, right? Form 4 means that's an insider selling. And look at all this selling that has happened since April, right? 948, 948. Well, then once it starts going up into the 50s, June, lots of sales. June 3rd, the insiders sold a lot. June 7th, June 8th again, June 9th, June 14th, and June 17th. June 3rd, June 8th, June 18th, right? 17th, 18th, and 19th. We are below all of the insider selling. Do you think that maybe the insiders know something about this company? So I want to caution all of those AMC traders that are saying, hey, just buy and hold, buy and hold. When you start to see the insiders that are selling, and we've now stayed below those levels, right? we're below this level, we're below this one, we're below this. It's all there, free information. Form 4, AMC, these are the insiders selling, right? That this is not looking good when you start to see such heavy selling from insiders. Granted, you know, insiders can sell for any reason. They just want to take profit. They want to put the money in their pocket. They need to pay for their child's education. They want to buy a nice home for $839,000. Maybe they want to put it into a new investment. Yeah, Terry, I thought, wow, really? This is interesting that I saw the numbers go up, and then I started looking at it, and I went, wow, you know what? Let's for fun look at Gamestop. That was another stock, right? Gamestop insider selling. Let's see here. Do we have anything here? June 23rd. Okay, not too much. Really back in January, we had the directors selling right then. I wonder if I go to the other one, if it makes a difference, because there were 2 different ones that were listed there. So let's check this one. Nothing. Okay. How about PLTR? July 6th, the directors were selling 1.9 million. And he's been selling 1.9 million. Look at, okay, let's look at this. PLTR. When was that sell? Was that this day? June 25th? No, July 6th. July 6th. Right here. Right here is when they were selling. Very interesting, right? Oh no, 621. Excuse me, it was 621. 621. So it actually went up from there. 621, and here again 69. So we're below that too. 69 and 621. Yeah, so that 24 mark is really important. They took a lot of profits right there. A lot of profits. Interesting, right? They probably have some advisors. Hello, Andy. How are you? So yeah, PLTR is not looking that strong to me. Looks like it came back, it tested that trend line, and it rejected it. I would look for this to continue down. Maybe we can do a measured move. You know, if this is a midline, $6.66. Interesting measurement, right? Huh. All right, let's go down here. So maybe we're going to see this down to $15 from here. Maybe we'll see it pull all the way back down. PLTR. We'll just set an alert. Put target 7/19/21. That way I know. If it went down there, it's still, yeah. They definitely are. Well, look, we're down at $35. We're hitting that volume weighted anchor price from back here. Let's move it over. Whoop, undo that. I didn't mean to move that. I wanted to move this over one more day. 34.97, 34.94. The volume weighted anchor price developed by Brian Shannon with Alpha Trends is awesome. If you don't know about it, also check out his book about technical analysis. Really, really cool guy, very knowledgeable, and you know, this volume weighted anchor price is spectacular. I love it. I love it. So we are testing that right now. Might be a point to which take some profits, because we might see a bit of a bounce back up and then come to the downside. But I did see this diamond in here, and I thought, well, now we're breaking that diamond. If we close below 35, I don't think it's looking pretty for the banks either. And we could see further move to the downside. Okay, let's keep going on the list. So we did AMC. Let's look at Tesla. So Tesla is pulling back down to the downside as well. Today we had a bit of a move down. We had $6 move to the downside, testing that resistance. Look at how they hold. These levels are awesome. Definitely check it out. You guys should try my list. You know, try it for a month. See if it pays for itself. And use welcome at cjanetrade.com to have it pay you to learn all about it. Okay, let's check out the ones you guys want to see. So let's look at gold. Rohit, are you looking at it as far as Rand gold? Or are you looking at the gold futures? What gold? Are you looking at the sector? Or are you looking at gold in particular as the stock? All right, so ITUB, yeah, it looks like we might be coming into congestion area right here. I would look at 545 right here, coming back down maybe 532 would be a support area, and then down to 528 for you, Shar. But that's so inexpensive, you know, like trading in the money puts might be good on that one. So you don't have to trade it quite at the cost of the stock. All right, let's look at LTHM for Old Salt Trader. So you bought it down here, 1680, and rode it on the bounce. Nice job there. Yeah, oversold extreme. Nice move on that one. Came down, and it came down to 2780. Just be careful because you are fighting the trend. Remember, the overall trend here is downward. It was below the 200 simple moving average, and it might have a bounce, but I see it's hitting resistance here, much like we saw that Tesla hit that resistance, that this is hitting that resistance. So I would be wary because it has broken the upward trend for the day. All right, ENZC. Let me go down and see. XAU. Okay, we'll check on that. So ENZC, yeah, I like this one actually to the upside. It is a biotech company. I'm not a fan of biotech companies because things can change in a heartbeat based on FDA, world news, stuff like that. So keep that in mind. But I see a bit of a W forming right here. I would like this one particularly up above 22.79, right? 22 cents at 22 cents 80. And then for a bigger move up, I would take that measured move from the bottom here up, so 7 cents. So then I would look for 29 as a target if it broke that 22.79 area. Let's look at VERB, Verb Technologies. So this is a bit extended away, but I like that it's bouncing off of the 425 today. It's in a downward trend at the moment, using the 200 exponential right here at 288 as support. So I would watch that on the shorter term time frame. On the longer term time frame, it is still down. It looks like it wanted to fill that gap, but they bought it up. So I would look for, if I were to get into this, a break up above 321 to the long side. Otherwise, I would be extra cautious if it breaks down below 288, and in particular about 260. If it breaks down below 260, bye-bye. This is my, hey, what does this look like if this is a hand? This is your thumb. This is your index finger. What's this one? And then down. That volume is dropping, so caution with that right there. All right, let's also check AMC. We already did AMC. XLF, we talked about that. Let's look at XAU for Rohit. All right, yeah. You know what? I found Rohit, I found an article about how they found a surplus of gold. And so I think that's potentially affecting the price of gold overall. So this is gold and silver. Silver has more of a use function as far as in computer chips, cell phones, solar panels. It's much higher use than gold because it's a lower price commodity. So I personally like buying physical silver better than any sort of paper silver or paper gold, meaning stocks and that sort of aspect of it. I think now that we're likely going to see gold drop to the downside based on what I have read. So I would keep that in mind. If this is dropped below your price point for protecting your profits or anything like that, we are down at lows. Let's look at this on a bigger picture on a weekly. And yeah, if this were to go below 130, it's not going to be pretty because we have a bit of an M set up there, and 130 up to 165, 35 points that we could see this move down. So we could see this move down to 95 fairly quickly, if not more. But I would look for silver to rise. So this has two of them, but the technicals on this is not looking very bullish to me, and I would not like to catch a falling knife, depending on your time frame for your investment, right? Sens. So Sens here on the 24-hour chart. Let's see. It is broken out of a downward trend. I like that. You can see this is the first day that it broke out of the downward trend, bounced off the 50 simple moving average. Very nice. Like it up to first test up here of 316. Right? Oh, my pleasure, Rohit. That's why I'm here. Happy to help. All right, guys. Let's also look at Bitcoin really quickly and Ethereum. Let's go over to the crypto side. So let's look at, where's my Bitcoin tether? Here we go. So Bitcoin, I did get a notice that it was bouncing. It was at highs of the day. However, you can see I was doing some teaching today in the training pit at thedarkpools.com, all about patterns. So if you guys want to learn more about the dark pools, you want to learn more about patterns, about all that good stuff, check out the training pit at thedarkpools.com. And we were talking about we have a descending wedge right here, but looking at it bigger picture, right? We have a head and shoulders over here with the support right here at 32,260. We are below that. That would put us down roughly at about 4,500 for Bitcoin if this pattern plays out. You know, how many weeks did it take for this to ascend up here? Well, it took it 12, go up to here. It took it 22 bars, 22 weeks. So is it going to take 22 weeks for it to drop to the downside? It did come down fairly quickly. It took about 2 weeks for it to come down here, and then a little bit of consolidation and selling and you know, indecision. And now we're moving to the downside. So how fast is it going to come down? Maybe it's going to take 4 to 10 weeks for it to come all the way back down to 4, or it could be much faster. I also saw that in Mongolia, they have severe flooding, and I believe that there's a large number of Bitcoin miners there as well. So keep that in mind, that could affect the hash rate and the price and the flow of it. Ethereum as well looks like it is potentially moving to the downside. This is our weekly chart, right? And that's not looking too strong. We are below the 20 simple moving average, heading to the 50 down here at 1412. If we break below 1750, I would look for 1500 and then 1450 area for down there, and we're testing that area right now. Let's look at my favorites that are not doing so hot at the moment, but these are the cryptos that I do personally love. I love XLM as use function with the new banking system that's due to come out, that's taking away power from the banks. Part of the reason why the banks are dropping. People are taking their money out. They're storing it in crypto. Where's the money? A, the banks don't have it, and B, people are putting their store of wealth into crypto for longer term. Any change on X and RIG to getting me long money back soon? Let's look at it. Don't really like X right at the moment. It is a bit oversold, extended down here. It could have a bit of a snapback. I don't know where your entry is, but I would look at 2240 for resistance. And let's check out RIG. Yeah, RIG it's sold off up here, and it's really overextended. It is oversold on the daily. Oh, you know what? Let's do this, because I deleted some over here. A lot of money was flowing out of RIG. You see right here? That's the unbalanced volume. So a lot of the money was flowing out of it. So not at this time that I see it, but it is a bit oversold. But I don't. If it could hold above 200 EMA right here, that was resistance for a little while. If not, I don't know where you got in, but it might head down. Doge is dead. I don't think Doge is dead, in my opinion. It's come back down to support levels over here. 24-hour chart. We are actually bouncing off of a trend line right here. 1705 was a potential entry right there earlier. So looking at that, it's in a downward trend for sure. I would like it better up above 20 cents if it could make its way back up above 20 cents. I think we're going to see more bleeding in the market and in the crypto space before it starts to get better. Cardano I like as well, but I think same scenario. I think we're going to see more bleeding in the crypto space before we see it get better. So all of these are definitely discounting themselves for bigger growth in my opinion, but I would look for that upward move before getting in. All right, let's look at NVITA. really quickly, and then I'm going to have to wrap it up. My tummy is grumbling. I got to eat some yummy food. Work on getting off those 11 pounds, but eat some yummy food at the same time. All right, so Invita, did you guys see my, did you see my garlic harvest? Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up over here. It's official, I grew garlic. All right, so Invita, we're testing this from the downside. Don't like that, right? I would look for it to close up above. Dumped my Doge in Webull last week and lost 60 bucks. All right, well, you could wait and buy it back, right? Oh, interesting. Can't get into my Instagram. I wonder if it was hacked. Keep the 11 pounds. Oh, thanks, Steve. You know what? If I felt comfortable in my clothes, yes, but I don't. So the answer would be no. Oh, interesting. I just found a scammer and looking for my Instagram. Very interesting. So here it is. Oh, it won't even let me just pull it up. All right. So here is the garlic. It won't let me look at it. It's me, but it won't let me open it up. So I grew my own garlic. Really exciting. I've learned some lessons. I need to start with bigger cloves for next year, and very, very excited about that. All right. Have an amazing rest of your afternoon, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Watch those levels that I did mention for a bigger fade and drop in the market. We heard that Biden was supposedly going to come out with news about hacking from China. Nothing about this big pandemic that's going on and how that started, but we're going to find information about hacking. Okay. Any event, have an amazing afternoon. Carpe profit, seize those profits one trade at a time, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.